¿Cómo estáis, gente? Bienvenidos un día más a The Council. Vamos a continuar donde lo habíamos dejado el último día, que es arrancando este episodio número 2. A ver qué tal. Despacho de Lord Mortimer, 22 de enero 1793.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments.
A ver, vamos a ver. Lord Mortimer. Mortimer William. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, marqués de Westfire y par de Gran Bretaña, es un aristócrata inglés extremadamente opulento y tan discreto como influyente. Virtuoso en el arte de los negocios, inversor de gran talento, acabó retirándose de la escena pública y aislándose cada vez con más frecuencia a su isla privada. Mecenas, financia un gran número de artistas de diferentes ámbitos y disfruta reuniendo a personalidades inusuales. Gran afán por hacer lo mismo con las eminencias de este mundo, hombres de influencia y estadistas de la época. A menudo organiza eventos sociales en su isla privada en el litoral de Inglaterra.
But I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. I'm afraid she was brutally murdered,
Hostia.
stabbed several times.
I can't believe it. We bumped into each other last night on our way to bed.
Yes, I know. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you. We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
She seemed upset about something. I thought she was under the influence of alcohol, but we didn't really speak.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next
Al
conference.
despachito.
But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Pues empieza bien este capítulo segundo, episodio segundo. Mira, el agujero de los espartanos. Por aquí Leónidas tiró al negro. Sant Longis Martyr. Mira que hay cositas para coger.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
RSN, a ver, un momento. Por aquí no ponía algo. Mars, tal vez.
Four-letter word could open this chest.
No, porque es una N. Cambia la cuarta letra. Ah, que se puede cambiar por otras letras. Bueno, ¿qué me estás contando? A ver si tenemos alguna pista por aquí. Mártir, nada. Vamos a investigar. Ahí tenemos al cura. Antes de nada vamos a saquear cositas. Y ya luego, si eso, nos peleamos. Ya sabía yo. Vale, esto de este lado. Y por aquí hay algo más. No. Y no. Investiga la muerte de Adams. Vale, aquí está el paisano. Hay otro cofre. Supongo que... No, no se puede abrir, ¿vale? Y aquí tenemos... rojo, vale. A ver qué nos cuenta el cura.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Espero. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Llave con símbolo de agua, a ver. Vale. Y por aquí tenemos...
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Vale, por ahí se puede bajar, pero no queremos bajar todavía. 4 letras y se podía meter una L por aquí. Tal vez la palabra sea alma.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
No hay L, porque no se pueden intercambiar entre ellas. A ver. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo de momento hasta buscar alguna pistilla más. Vale, a ver qué tenemos por aquí. Un libro. Leviatán. Más un punto en política. Vale, está bien. Este cuadro.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli
La
in
pesadilla.
1781.
Fusili.
Carmelite water.
Vale.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Home and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
Me jode lo del carallo del cofre ese. O sea, 4 letras. ¿De dónde puedo sacar una palabra que sea 4 letras que nos dé una pista? Por aquí no veo nada escrito. En el techo no tiene pinta de que haya nada escrito. Mira, esas son las estatuas de Medusa. Faltará el candil. Por aquí no se ve nada en principio de una palabra. Y esa lanza en el pico tiene un símbolo raro.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Dime que hay una N aquí. Vamos a probar, cambiar la primera letra. Vamos a meter una C. Vamos a probar a poner Caín. Es algo bíblico. Aquí hay un cura, a lo mejor tenemos suerte.
Which four-letter
Pues no.
word could open this chest?
A ver. Que le den al puto cofre de los cojones. Probaremos igual luego. Vale.
Devil's Thorn.
Empecemos a saquear todo lo que podamos. Algo por aquí que coger. No vive mal el amigo, ¿eh? Vaya segunda planta. Vale, a ver quién tenemos por aquí.
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Johann Bonner, vale. Este era el que era alemán. Ey, ¿por qué aquí no nos dejan entrar? Vale. Aquí no podemos entrar. O sea, que igual solo son los del primer piso. Algo que podamos llevarnos por aquí, tal vez. Una moneda.
A Byzant from the Byzantine Empire. A
Vale.
coin often used during the St. Louis era.
Vamos a investigar un poquito esta parte antes de bajar. Aquí tenemos al señor alemán y a ver aquí, vale, esta puerta se puede abrir, pero no nos pone quién hay aquí. Vale, a ver qué nos cuenta este señor.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Lord Mortimer must have informed you of the necessity for everyone to remain in their rooms until further notice.
Certainly, but I'm a guest, not a prisoner. I was looking for a servant, since we don't all, unfortunately, have one at our disposal.
Yeah, right.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Vale, no se ve en el cuadro nada en principio que nos haga sospechar. La cajita, nada. Nada que coger por aquí tampoco. Esta caja se puede abrir. Tampoco se puede hacer nada con ella. Vale, pues antes de entrar aquí vamos a entrar en la habitación de Elizabeth. Hostia. Ah, que no le han puesto ni una sábana por encima. Joder. Lo primero, saquear siempre.
A chest with a half circle pattern.
No tenemos la llave todavía. No quiero gastar un punto en esto. Vamos a aguantarlo por si acaso la llave está por aquí. Ah, coño, que hay un paisano.
Has finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When sir would like to leave, sir has only to tell me.
My dear Elizabeth.
Mi querida Elizabeth, te escribo para comunicarte las malas noticias. No podremos vernos el primer domingo de mayo como habíamos planeado. Me han informado de que tu estado no ha mejorado y lamentablemente tus hermanos y yo estamos abrumados por el trabajo requerido para gobernar este nuevo país. Por favor, acepta nuestras disculpas. En cuanto tengamos tiempo, aunque solo sea un día, te prometo que iremos a ver. Tu querido padre, John Adams. Postdata, no le guardes rencor a tu madre, aún no está preparada. Por favor, no la juzgues. Estoy seguro de que algún día dejará atrás todo esto. Vale, es una nota, no podemos coger nada. Seguimos investigando. A ver este reloj.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
Vale. ¿Y por aquí no se puede pasar? Estas físicas, vale. A ver.
Vials of laudanum.
Dificultad 3. Ciencias nivel 2. El coste se reduce en 3. O sea, 0 puntos, ¿vale?
Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Objeto no guardado, inventario lleno. Vale, no hay más abrojo. Vale, una mancha de sangre en la pared. Vale, seguimos investigando por aquí. La cama.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
Me has gastar un puntín. Venga, va.
It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good.
Vale. No podemos hacer nada más con eso. Una pistola de chispa.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Vale, pues si es por los libertadores de Francia, en principio tenemos como sospechosos a Jacques Perú o a Napoleón. Elizabeth, estoy al borde de la desesperación. ¿Tiene algún sentido seguir escribiéndote? No sé si recibes mis cartas. Padre controla cada vez más mi correspondencia. Estoy seguro de que filtra nuestros intercambios. Por suerte, una de las criadas me ayuda a enviarte las cartas, pero sigo sin obtener respuesta. Pienso en ti mucho y rezo cada día para poder abrazarte. Tenemos todo el tiempo del mundo para arreglarlo. Te lo ruego, contéstame, por favor. Tu querida hermana Abigail. Postdata. Esa horrible mujer volvió ayer. Pasó un buen rato hablando con padre. No entendí toda la conversación porque hablaba en francés, pero estoy segura de que hablaban de ti. Vale. Mi querida hermana, la cancelación de nuestro encuentro me sentó como una puñalada en el corazón. Padre me dijo que es por tu bien, pero no puedo evitar culparlo. Dice que tu enfermedad ha empeorado y que podría ser peligroso vernos. Créeme, si supiera dónde estás, nada ni nadie me apartaría de tu lado. Hace mucho que no sé de ti. Escribe, por favor. Tu querida hermana Abigail. Espero que te guste el talismán que te envíe. Vale. A ver qué más tenemos por aquí. Mi querida Elizabeth, última carta, mejor me preocupa. Todas eran frías como el hielo, como si las emociones ya no formasen parte de ti. Padre insiste en que los efectos secundarios del tratamiento aún te afectan, pero pronto desaparecerán. Debería creer lo que dice, me aferro a la esperanza de poder vernos pronto. Finalmente, escribe pronto, tu querida hermana Abigail. Postdata, no olvides decirme qué quieres que te regale.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
No podemos traducir, vale, a ver conocimientos.
He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
Acaba de encontrar a su hijo. Es probable que se esté refiriendo a nuestra madre como el demonio y nosotros seamos su hijo. Vale, vamos a darle llave con 5 círculos. Mira, con un poco de suerte abrimos el cofre con esto. Vale, por aquí no se podía pasar y nos queda por investigar el círculo central, el pentagrama este, las puñaladas, el estilete que estoy viendo por ahí, la mancha de la pared y podríamos marcharnos. A ver, tendremos suerte, será la llave.
A chest with a half circle pattern.
Pues va a haber que abrirla.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness.
Vale.
Feet and hands are bound. A piece of cloth in the mouth prevents the tongue from being sectioned. It looks like preparation for an exorcism. Is Elizabeth really possessed?
Nos llevamos las notas. Muy bien. Vale. Vamos a ver. La mancha de sangre. Desde aquí no podemos acceder. A ver, desde aquí.
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Tiene que ser alguien corpulento entonces. Y muy corpulentos. Washington, Espero. Y así de primeras no se me ocurre ninguno más. Vale, a ver el estilete.
The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Tenemos lógica. La hoja.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh.
Vale, a ver.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
No. Tío, no pises el cadáver, joder. A ver la botella.
Knocked over bottle of wine. I know that smell. It's laudanum. It must have been mixed with the wine directly in the bottle.
Vale, o sea que no tiene por qué ser corpulento y han podido dormirla o dejar inconsciente con el vino y luego apuñalarla. Manos finitas las que han empuñado el arma.
What kind of plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Brion. It's a great wine.
¿Por qué no nos
What's happened
ponen?
to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
No sé por qué nos ponen eso si no hemos gastado ningún punto, pero bueno. A ver.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. The scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Dificultad 0, o sea que no gasta puntos.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. She had the sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor. Symbol of Masons? What's that doing here?
No podemos traducirlo. Vale, cicatrices, significado cicatrices, esto lo tenemos, volvemos al cuerpo, vamos al torso.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Vale, 0 puntos.
The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Madre mía. Vamos a la cabeza.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose. There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Vale. Observar la sangre, opción ya elegida. Vale. Automáticamente cualquiera de las dos. Examinar la boca.
What a strange smell.
Vale, esto debe ser el
Breath.
laudo,
Alcohol.
efectivamente.
Of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain. No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
Bien, vamos a examinar el símbolo. Este es el de los masones, ¿puede ser?
This pinnacle is a
No,
trap.
es el pentáculo.
The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle.
Esto gastaría el punto, o sea que mejor vamos a conservarlo por si acaso.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
No quiero gastar ese punto porque igual me puede servir para alguna conversación con alguna de los sospechosos. Entonces de momento nos lo vamos a guardar. Aquí todo esto lo hemos investigado, eso también, vale, nos queda, si no me equivoco, el círculo central.
A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here?
Que es el mismo que el de la mano, ¿no?
Most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol.
A ver, un momento. Inquisición, persuasión. Esas... Vale. Vulnerable a Inquisición y a persuasión. ¿Sería tal vez el cura que al final tiene las manos pequeñitas y igual quiso venir a exorcizarla?
Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Vale, en principio no tenemos nada más por coger, ¿verdad? La pistola no nos la podíamos llevar para encontrar al culpable de su pérdida. A ver. No, hay que dejarla. Vale, ahí están las diferentes notas. El láudano. El reloj que nos marcaba las 3:50. Bueno, pues ya estaría. Vamos a salir de aquí.
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Vale, pues la habitación de Elizabeth ya la tenemos controlada. Ahora creo que por aquí había otra habitación, efectivamente, que es la de George Washington. Ahí lo tenemos. Vale, antes de nada, saquear. Bien, a ver.
Mapa
de Vermont. Libros. Hemos conseguido una página más, vale. Nada por aquí perdido. Vamos a ver si podemos. Reloj. Algo que podamos llevarnos. Es gastar el punto. A ver.
Portrait of George Washington.
Retrato del mismo, ¿eh? Poco vanidoso. Vale. Más jalea real. ¿Y por aquí se puede? No, no se puede salir. Me jode porque a lo mejor en el cofre de ahí igual hay otro trozo de... otro cristal de ámbar. Pero solo tengo un punto. Y no quiero tomar consumibles por el logro. Hay un logro que es pasarte una misión sin usar consumibles. Y yo soy muy de logros, entonces vamos a intentar aguantarlo.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Joder. Es que así no va a haber forma de resolver el puñetero asesinato, ¿eh? Cago en... A ver, vamos a ver primero qué nos cuenta este hombre.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry, countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured, it looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
No es que nos haya revelado mucho. Y aquí teníamos dos cosas. ¿Investigamos las dos? Vale, no, esta no, pero ¿y la otra? Porque hay dos. A ver la otra. Mi querido George, tal y como hemos acordado, tengo el honor de invitarlo a mi mansión. Me gustaría enseñarle un proyecto en el que estoy trabajando. Ha llegado el momento de que los Estados Unidos desempeñen un papel más importante en la escena mundial. Entiendo su reticencia a jugar con fuego. Soy consciente de que su nuevo país aún es joven, pero le aseguro que jamás haría nada que pusiese en peligro lo que hemos construido juntos. Espero verlo pronto. Su amigo William. Podría intentar descifrar eso, pero vamos a intentar aguantarlo. Vale, seguir por aquí. Y otra caja que no se puede abrir. Y esta habitación es de nadie. Aquí no se puede. Y es la habitación de el cardenal Piaggi. El cardenal Piaggi. Vale, Louis de Richet, esta es nuestra habitación y tampoco podemos hacer absolutamente nada. Entonces, si no podemos hacer absolutamente nada en ninguna habitación más, Manuel Godoy, No, aquí tampoco nos dejan. Tal vez haya más gente abajo. ¿Nos dejen bajar? No nos dejan bajar tampoco. Napoleón. Vamos a hablar con Napoleón.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Napoleón Bonaparte. Inmunidad política. El príncipe añadido al inventario. A ver qué nos da por curiosidad. Manipulación, 1 punto. Talento desbloqueado, ratón de biblioteca. Abrojo.
Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room? And he gets victory after victory?
Vale, allí hay más. No porque va a ser alcanzarlo para nada que estamos intentando no gastar, o sea que no tiene sentido.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur.
Otra moneda. No podemos salir. Vale. Por aquí nada. Aquí tampoco.
Amber.
Sambar, eso es.
French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus.
Nerón
The last
en
emperor of the
Delacroix.
Caesar dynasty.
Una partida de ajedrez. Y por aquí nada que rascar.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, 2 great army chiefs.
Estimado Napoleón, como acordamos, me gustaría que se uniese el encuentro de la alta sociedad organizado para la ocasión. El evento tendrá lugar el próximo mes de enero en mi isla. Tendremos la oportunidad de continuar con la discusión sobre nuestro proyecto de un nuevo orden para Francia. Quiero hacer una propuesta con respecto a su deseo de contar con un líder firme como dirigente del país. Confío en su discreción acerca de este viaje. Hasta pronto. Lord William Mortimer. Una pistolera a la que le falta la pistola.
On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in it.
¿Habrán cogido quizás la pistola de Napoleón para inculparle? Lo sabremos. Vale. Este es el gorro de Jacques Espero, ¿puede ser?
Bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Mi queridísimo hijo, te escribo para rogarte que actúes cuanto antes. La situación empeora a pasos agigantados. Paoli continúa dirigiendo a nuestra patria, Córcega. Hay un conflicto armado entre Francia e Inglaterra. Sus hombres están por todas partes. Estamos obligados a escondernos y no podemos quedarnos en el mismo sitio más de 2 días. No me sorprendería que pronto viniesen a por nosotros. Date prisa, hijo. Nuestro destino está en tus manos. Tu querida madre, María Leticia Bonaparte.
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
A ver, ¿qué nos ponen por aquí? Napoleón Bonaparte, inmunidad, persuasión. Uf, es que gastar esto, madre mía. Vamos primero a hablar con él, a ver si le podemos sacar algo y si no, luego buscamos. Por otra parte, esto igual nos da una hoja para uno de los libros. Es una faena, ¿eh? Esto de no querer gastar puntos es una faena. Vamos a ver.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Gastaríamos el punto, pero si es sincero, nos lo quitaríamos. Venga, va, vamos a... Sería quitarse un sospechoso de encima. Vale.
Exactly.
Coffee, que no.
Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Vale, nos hemos quedado sin puntos, pero sabemos, o en teoría, presuponemos que Napoleón es inocente. Así que lo vamos a dejar por aquí, si os parece, y el próximo día continuaremos buscando sospechosos para resolver el crimen. Si os gusta, ya sabéis, como siempre, darle a like, suscribiros y activar la campanita para las notificaciones. Hasta la próxima.